Hello, Mid-American gardeners. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about plants, and we're going to talk about warm things where we go outside when it is warm. So you'll want to stay tuned and maybe even get a question ready. Hi, I'm Diane Nolan, and I'm going to be your host today for Mid-American Gardener. My specialty areas are perennials for the landscape as well as cut flowers. But we have three highly intelligent and witty, interesting people here. No pressure, people. And we're going to find out what their expertise is, who they are, and you can gear your questions towards that. Let's go first to you, Chuck Voigt.
Well, hi, Diane. I am Chuck Voigt, and I'm in the Department of Crop Sciences here at the University of Illinois. My special areas are vegetables and herbs, but I have a fairly well-rounded horticulture education. So as you can see from the questions I'm going to answer tonight, I can answer things about other things. So the question I have first is about surprise lilies, sometimes called miracle lilies. They're called lots of things. They're called that because the foliage grows up in the spring and they look like just a supersized daffodil foliage, and then they die down about the same time the daffodils do. And then the surprise comes in about August when the flower stalks come up and they bloom, and they have these beautiful pink flowers, lightly fragrant. They divide annually. You know, if you were diligent about digging them up and dividing them every 2 or 3 years, you could have hundreds of them. I know because I did that a couple of times, and I've got them all over at the home farm. And the question is, how do they get started and how do they spread? Well, I think probably you could, if you got the flowers pollinated, you could start one from seed. That would be a long and involved process. It's much simpler to either mail order one to start, or find a neighbor who is inundated with way too many of them and get a start from them. And then once you have them, you can divide your own and go to town. They don't really spread per se. The one will divide into 2, will divide into 4, and pretty soon you have quite a clump of them. But they don't like travel, and I've never seen them set seeds. I've never had them threaten to naturalize like daffodils sometimes do.
No, they just seem to get thicker and more V-shaped.
Right, and if you don't divide them every once in a while, you can get them so thick that they are a little shyer about flowering.
Okay. So surprise lilies. Thank you, Chuck. And now, Kelly, let's go to you. This is Kelly Alsop.
Hi, I am Kelly Alsop, and I am a horticulture educator for University of Illinois Extension, and I serve Livingston, McLean, and Woodford counties. My expertise is greenhouse, foliage, indoor plants. Like Chuck, I love all things horticulture, so
yes.
I'm kind of well-rounded. I also love insects. But my question is a plant identification from Missouri, and they found it growing near the edge of their woods. And it has these big, large, kind of palmately compound leaves, and with this cluster of red berries. And this is called a green dragon, and it's related to Jack in the Pulpit. It is a perennial corm, like a bulb, and it is a perennial corm, and it blooms in early May, and then in July it forms those berries, those red berries. What I love about it is that it's pollinated by flies, kind of an ephemeral. An ephemeral means that sometimes the foliage dies back a little bit, and it's a very high quality woodland plant. So definitely don't dig it up and leave it there, and go back and check it every year.
It's fascinating. I had one just come up in a shaded hosta area, and it had been a farm field before I planted it, so they're tough. But I wouldn't say it's as showy as Jack in the Pulpit, would you? Until the berries
Right.
come.
I don't think that it is as beautiful as the Jack in the Pulpit with the way the intricate flower. This one kind of just has a spathe that's kind of long,
but it's
tongue-like.
so fascinating.
Yes.
I really
Still, I would,
am happy I have that little
I would plant
cluster.
it in my woodland garden.
Yes. So plant it in a woodland or a shade garden, because mine's a shade garden. So
And it's native.
that's a great one. Well, thank you, Kelly. That
Hey,
was
thank
very
you.
fun. And just because it was from Northeast Missouri doesn't mean it's all through Illinois and Indiana and Wisconsin. So it's Mid-American native. Okay, let's go on to you, Jim Schuster.
Hi, I'm a retired extension plant pathologist and horticulturist, and I have a question from John and Jenny about radishes. They have issues. Every time they plant the radishes, they get really big tops, and he's asking what they're doing wrong. Are they not getting enough sun? Well, let's first answer the sun part. You need at least 8 hours of sun a day or more. And then my question would be, how close are you planting them together? Because they need about 3 inches between each seedling. So you either take your time and plant one and then go over 3 inches and plant another seed and over 3 inches and plant another seed, or you can just line them all up and let them start growing, and then you thin them so you have one every 3 inches. And you also plant them shallow. Take the longest dimension of that seed and plant it no more than twice that depth. Because if you plant them too deep, they won't form the radish either. And also to help you with that planting shallow, after you make that little trench and drop the seeds in, you consider putting organic matter along that little trench, and that'll make it easier for the seedlings to come up through it too.
We've been getting quite a few questions about, root crops not forming roots from the past year. So we had a turnip one last week. I wonder too if they over-fertilize. I thought of that as I was driving home.
We had beets once, which I've never had beets fail to make beets.
Or radishes, really.
Radishes, sometimes there are radish varieties, like the one that's red inside. I think it mainly only works in the fall. So if you try to get that going in the spring, I've never had success with it in the spring.
But beets and turnips, I have never had turnips not form roots. So don't over-fertilize.
And space them properly.
Not nitrogen, not high in nitrogen. So, and if you plant them early, they like cold.
Right.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if people were, in the last week, they were not planting them too late.
Chuck did mention
It was
that.
fine.
Yeah, Chuck did mention earlier before the show started that also it gets really hot. That sometimes affects the ability to make a radish yourself too.
Right.
So
But if they're planting them early, then it's got to be something else. So
And you can eat the little baby greens as you
Right.
thin them out, so it's not a total waste either. It's very much like turnip greens.
that would make people feel good to be able to not waste something. Because I'm really not a fan of thinning. But if I could eat it, I suppose. So I do plant mine farther apart because I hate to.
It's life and death, and you don't want to be the one deciding.
But if you use it in a salad, you don't feel so bad.
No.
So thank you for that.
and, and if being able to eat them makes that better, it's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, I'm still going to plant them a couple inches apart like I usually do, and I thin the in-between one when it's really small. Well, boy, these were good questions, so thank you very much. Viewers, if you have something you want to ask us, we are getting a little bit low on email questions, so you can send those in, and also on Facebook, you'll see that during the show, so stay tuned for that. Let's go to the, first let's go to the Did You Know video, and we're going to think warm by talking about sunflowers. A sunflower looks like one large flower, but each head is composed of hundreds of very small flowers called disc florets, which then ripen to become the seeds. This is the case for all plants in the sunflower family, including daisies, yarrow, goldenrod, asters, and bachelor buttons. Okay, so with that, we're going to go to the phone lines, and we want to start first with Judy. She has an amaryllis question on line 1, so let's go to you next, Judy. Hi there.
Hi, I love your show.
Thank you.
I'm calling about my amaryllis stock. My husband got me for Christmas. It's a stargazer called, and I got some big long leaves, but no flower.
Oh, I'm so glad Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly.
I've definitely grown my share of amaryllises in the greenhouse. And so at this point in time, you're in a vegetative state, so you're just going to grow it normally like you would a house plant. I would definitely let it go outside in a shady location this summer. And then in the fall, what happens is it requires a drying down period for it to initiate flowering. So what I used to do in the greenhouse is in the summer, in the early falls, I would turn the pot on the side and just put it in the basement and leave it alone for at least 8 weeks. And then I would start, and then I would pull it out after that 8 weeks, start watering it, and would give it a little more soil, and then in 8 to 12 weeks, I can't remember if it's 8 or 12 exactly, it would produce a flower. So you really need to dry down those amaryllises. But right now, I would just treat it like a houseplant.
So it's possible that amaryllis didn't get the dormant.
Well, usually
They usually
when
come
you-
ready to go.
Yeah, well, usually when you get the bulbs, they're ready. They're ready to produce a flower. So it was probably already in flower during the Christmas, because that's about the market date for amaryllises.
Yeah, I bought some once that I was going to force for class, and I wanted to wait late enough so that I could take the foliage outside pretty quickly. And by the time I got around to trying to force them, the flower buds had given up. So I got leaves, but the flower bud didn't develop. So,
So they may have been held too long.
well, if this is current, that I don't know that could be an issue, because we're still fairly early in amaryllis season.
And then in the store, I've always, bought them around before Thanksgiving, and that's when you're supposed to plant it if you want to have a nice bloom for Christmas.
So that'd be perfect. So if you got this one at Christmas, I wonder.
Yeah,
might have-
it always hurts me a little when you walk through a store and they're growing out of the box and flowering and dying there. It's just like, oh, what a
Quick,
waste.
somebody get them earlier than that. Well, Judy, we hope that helped you with the amaryllis. Thank you so much. Now let's go to a grapevine question, and let's go to line 2 for Bob. Bob, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your question, sir?
Thanks for taking my call, first of all.
You're welcome.
I've got an old grape vine. It's been there probably 20 years, and I've really never cut it back. And it's kind of a canopy type. And I want to cut it back drastically and make just like a fence row type. Will it hurt to cut it back real drastically, or what's the proper way of doing that?
The only thing it will hurt is you're probably going to take off all of this year's flower buds. Grapes bear on the new wood from last year, and if you're going to cut it back that drastically, most of that wood is clear out at the far ends, and it's going to be fairly difficult to save any of it that's in close. Grapevines come back really well from that, so if you're willing to do that, just cut it back to the general configuration that you want it to be, and then it'll shoot out long canes in all directions, and then you can start choosing the ones that you want to keep, and how many buds you want to leave on each one, and get it into an annual pruning situation.
Mm-hmm. And pruning usually is about this time, isn't it?
Yeah.
More like March.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not when it's cold weather.
You want to get them while they're still dormant before they actually start to bud break. And typically, like in a vineyard situation, they may take off 85 or 90% of the vines from last year. So they're pretty resilient. It's just one that's been left alone that long, you may not be able to get bearing branches in the center where the trunk is. But
When we used to grow the vines at the research station in DuPage County, we tried to leave 6 to 12 buds per arm on the vines, because
Right.
like you say, they're going to shoot vines like crazy.
Right.
So you do want to reduce how many, watch how many buds you leave on the stem that you keep.
yeah, that next year, if you cut it back hard this year, then next year you can start worrying about leaving 4 arms with 6 buds or something.
Right.
So, Bob, you're asking the right questions because it'll take a while since it's such an old, unpruned one, but it's going to be great. They're tough. All right, let's move on to an asparagus question. Oh, this will be fun. Line 3, let's go to you, Ed. Hi there.
Yes, Diane, I'm on here.
Okay, what would you like to ask?
We have got about 3 patches of asparagus, and one of them is bull asparagus. Been there many years, and then Dad put in some newer patches. How do I keep the grass out of it early on? Is there anything I can put on those patches to kind of slow the grass down?
Do you know what kind of grass it is?
Crabgrass, what I've seen, and then your regular old lawn grass, blue.
Like bluegrass?
Yeah.
I would say a fairly heavy organic mulch on it would certainly keep the crabgrass down and might affect the bluegrass to some extent.
Can you use a pre-emergence on it for the crabgrass?
Yeah, I would think so because the asparagus isn't gonna germinate.
But anything that's growing into it,
Yeah.
it's really, you're going to need to keep it from growing into the patch. So
Right.
I do an edging, I kind of smother the edge and
Yeah.
really heavy mulch.
As I mowed mine down in the spring, I mow down the asparagus as low as I can get it, and then tend to go around in circles, blowing leaves and whatever is there to kind of get it covered up, and then the spears will come right through that, and hopefully it'll smother out a lot of the bluegrass. Is not as bad as if it were quackgrass or some
Exactly.
of those things that are just pernicious.
And I had one patch that was poison ivy ridden. So
I have a
it
little
was
bit of that,
The
too.
oldest patch was that way. Oh, so be glad it's bluegrass. But do try to keep on top of it early and stay on top of it.
With poison ivy in the cutting season, when there's not a lot of spears around, you could do Roundup or something with a paintbrush and just paint it on the
But
poison
then
ivy.
later, the spears and the poison ivy, so I just would stay far away. But I do think I have it a little bit more under control because I worked on it in the summer, the fall.
Yeah, if you're diligent
Constantly.
doing it a couple times during the cutting season when it's small, then maybe eventually it won't be so bad.
Yeah, ooh, it was exciting. So anyway, thank you very much for your question, Ed. Now let's go to line 6, and Marilyn has a question about dogwood. Hi there, Marilyn.
Hi. I have a beautiful dogwood tree, and I'm just wondering if something is wrong. I noticed it this last year that the bottom leaves are big and beautiful shape, but the further up it goes, the leaves get smaller.
Do you notice any color in the bark? Is the
No,
bark
I
changing
don't.
color? Any sunken areas or swollen areas or split in the bark? Because it almost sounds like you're not getting enough food and water up to the upper part of the tree. And I was thinking like maybe there's some cankers on that tree that is inhibiting the flow of food and water to the upper branches. And they would tend to cause cracking or maybe a swollen area or a sunken area. But there usually is some indication that they're there. So you may have to look real close, but otherwise I'm not sure what would be causing a reduction in food and water to the top.
Some flowering dogwoods are not that winter hardy
Yeah.
in our mid-America part of the world, and this winter, borderline, last winter, it could have, maybe if there was snow cover around the bottom, that would have been protected, and higher up, the cold might have not killed it, but certainly damaged it.
So symptoms now from what happened in that really
Yeah,
rough.
I actually last
winter.
year had some master gardeners tell me that they had some winter damage on dogwoods. That could explain it.
It could. So see if it comes out of it. I mean, it's the wait and see game, actually. So anyway, that's our best advice for now. So we'll see how it goes. Well, we also have an asparagus comment. So we're going to go a follow-up comment. Let's go to line 2 with Walt. Hi there.
Hi, Diane. I don't know if this will help or not, but I have a lot of irises and I have grass growing it. And I'll have to tell you the name of the company that sells it because they're the only ones that do sell a grass killer that you can spray on plants. And it does work, but I had to do that with my irises last year, but I don't know if it'll work with asparagus or not.
And did you say the name?
No.
Not so far.
It's just a grass killer.
Oh, that's all it is.
That's all it is. But the only people that sell it that I've run across is Ace Hardware. And how I got this was Mike Miller on KMOX told us about this product. So, and I tried it and it worked.
So that's a good comment. So the person with the asparagus could look on the label and see if asparagus is mentioned. You wouldn't want to.
I have
Well,
definitely.
that's what
Yeah.
I know is that it said you.
Okay.
I've seen a product like that where it kills monocots, and it'll kill the grass out of your evergreens, your low-growing evergreens, and it was easy to use. So I have seen a
Right.
product
And you
like
think with
that.
iris,
Iris and
Asparagus.
asparagus are both monocots.
so that's why he's
That's why-
mentioning.
So maybe
That's why it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah,
You
that's why I'm wanting to know if it's on the label. So, but anyway, it'd be
if
worth
it's
looking
not
into.
on the label, then you can't use it on that crop.
Irises are tough. I would want to not do anything to harm my asparagus because you look so forward to it.
Well, it takes 3 or 4 years to get it up to where it's doing well.
And then it's so great. But that is a good comment, and we'll have, hopefully Ed can check that out and others too, but make sure it does work on asparagus like Walt was talking about. Okay, good for that. Now, let's go to a greenhouse question on line 1, and we're going to go to you, Josh. Hello, line 1. Hi.
I'm starting a new greenhouse, and I was going to try vertical growing and do a basin of water around the bottom and pump water up to the top of like PVC pipes to water everything. And I was just wondering, is there any tips that you would have for somebody for the first time trying to do vertical gardening and stuff like that? And do I need to use a lot of fertilizers if I'm trying to do it mostly organic?
Okay. So I'm looking at people on the other end of the table. Anyone can jump in.
The fertilizer would definitely depend on what you're growing vertically. I don't really know what to say. I know that
It's a good rule of thumb to water things weekly. So a weak fertilizer solution once a week would be good if you're growing any kind of food crops. That would probably be good, especially if you're doing vertical where you're pumping a lot of water through the system. You're going to be leaching things out pretty fast. So putting in a small amount regularly would be better than putting in a lot farther apart because you might wash it out. It might burn the plants if it's too much. So.
And I like to caution them though. If you are basically almost going hydroponic, you spread diseases very well with the watering system. So keep your sanitation up to par. Don't get careless.
And if you're growing in soil, what I used to do in the greenhouse all the time was test my soluble salts in my soil, and that really means fertilizers. And I would, you can look up a chart on the internet about what your salt should be in certain crops, and that's how I grew. And
you can
knew exactly
see
what to fertilize.
salt buildup will show up on, I don't know if it's containers or on benches. And
Sometimes even on clay pots.
Exactly, and you can tell that, and there'll also be a decrease in how the plants are looking too. So I remember if it was in soil, we used to have to leach when you found it was too high. So there's a lot to do with starting up a greenhouse. So keep asking those questions and talk to people who have a greenhouse. I think that's a good way to go as well. Well, we are going to go to the Mid-American Gardener quiz next. Which of the following won't help you save water when watering your lawn? A, an in-ground sprinkler system. B, drip irrigation.
C. Watering at night. A. An in-ground sprinkler system. Drip irrigation systems use between 20 to 50% less water than conventional in-ground sprinkler systems. Watering at night helps cut down evaporation.
Kind of a segue from the watering in the greenhouse to the how to conserve on water. We have a quick question we're going to answer before the end of the show.
This one I think is very quick. Would an avocado plant do well in the Midwest area? Well, avocados will do okay in the summertime outside. It's a subtropical plant, so if you're going to try to grow avocados here, they're going to have to be in a greenhouse or somewhere that's very protected during the winter. It's not going to be cost effective, but as a novelty, you might be able to do that.
So well for a hobbyist. Okay, the show is nearly over. I want to thank each of you three and all the good questions from the viewers. Thank you so much. Have a great week gardening. Goodbye.